Hey guys, what's up? This is I'm just gonna warn you right now, this is not exactly going to be the most not exactly gonna be the most positive start to a vlog, because some of you guys, or at least the majority of you guys, probably know by now that Wally, my black cat Wally, who I've had since I was 7 years old, we had to put him to sleep Monday. It was like 4:45. We took him there hoping to find a solution to all the problems that he had, maybe start down a path to him, finding healing and living at least a couple more years. But the tests alone were, the cost was insane, and we got Wally when he was like 8, and we had him for 10 years, so we estimated that he was about 18 years old. But those of you who have followed me on YouTube for the past at least the past 2 or 3 years, I know I haven't shown him recently, or at least I didn't show him recently. That was because the whole joke of me calling him the mighty cat of fatness, as what I did call him in my earlier years on YouTube, it wasn't exactly funny anymore, because he got diabetes last year, and then he started scratching himself, like scratching his necks, and he just progressively got worse and worse, so joking on him wasn't as funny to me. And then also because there just wasn't enough time in these vlogs. There never is, to fit everything in that I would like to. But yeah, that's Wally. If you guys don't know what he looks like, if you haven't seen him recently, that was my black cat Wally. And when he was the mighty cat of fatness, I used to refer to him as that because he was like 30 pounds. And he was only 15 pounds the day we put him down. And I was like, wow, you live with him. And it's such a slow, it's like a slow descent, I guess, that you don't even notice it. But yeah, he was half the weight that he used to be, and that was upsetting. But what was more upsetting was actually having it happen that day. I mean, I knew it was coming. We all knew it was coming. My entire family, with my buddy Alvin, my Pekingese, who we love to death. That all happened within an hour. We were completely not expecting it, and it was the worst thing ever. But this, we knew it was going to happen, but when it actually does, it's just like, emotionally, it's like a boulder just being dropped on you. It's horrendous, and it's really hard to think back over the last decade that I spent with Wally. It's like, I picture everything that I've done in the past 10 years, everything my family has gone through, everything we took him through. I mean, all the moves, all the brick fairs, and it's like, he was there for the last 10 years of our lives every single day, and it's just, and now he's not. And I walk over to where he used to lay down, in his bed, and it's like, he's just not there, and it's like, it's depressing. So to avoid crying, I guess, as much as I want, I don't know, it's just, I apologize. I know this is incredibly depressing, but I just figured he had such a major presence on my channel in my entire life that I needed to at least spend some time here to talk about it with you guys. And yeah, we couldn't get his ashes like we were able to Alvin, but got this. It's I guess as we walked out, they gave us this paw print from Wally, and at least I have that. So but yeah, I mean, I've been okay getting over it these past few days, but it's been pretty rough. Anyway, so to get off of that, I am working on a lot of stuff, still am, always am, a lot of stuff going on, a lot more to get into with this vlog, and hopefully you guys have stuck around these depressing 5 minutes so I can go over that stuff. And that stuff starts off with why the reviews on the new summer sets, the Final Duel, and the Imperial Shuttle Tiberium, why these have been delayed so drastically. I wanted to get the review out Tuesday, but that was only because I was going to put myself through the struggle of having to record while... Sorry, I gotta pull this picture of Wally down. This is not helping. Trying to record without air conditioning, because we didn't have air conditioning for like 4 days, and there was no way that I was going to record without air conditioning. As it turned out, it's just like I get hot when I record as it is. So recording without air conditioning would have been kind of brutal. And then Wally, he passed away that same day. We had to go put him to sleep the same day that I wanted to record, and then after that, me wanting to record flew out the window. So I apologize for the delay. I was going to record tonight too, but now I'm getting super tired after working on Daredevil a lot and making the second Daredevil preview. By the way, if I can pull that up, if I have it up, which I don't, so if I just type it in. By the way, this will probably be my last vlog on my sister's iPhone, thankfully, because I got an iPhone 6, so that'll be a nice upgrade. And finally, I won't have to worry about storage. It's going to be 64 gigs, or at least I won't have to worry about it for a while, so that's good. Anyway, second Daredevil preview. Not sold on it. Might not even use it, so you might only see it in this vlog. But might be posting that soon. And that's a thing. Daredevil is practically pretty much done. Practically pretty much done. He's pretty much almost done at this point. I just have to paint on the last few details on his back there and on the back of his legs. And then this little detail you see on the side of his helmet has to be added on that side. And then Daredevil will be done. And I did get his batons done. There they are in dark red. Originally they were bright red, and I ended up having to decide against that and order dark red rods to paint off of. And then, so aside from the Star Wars sets, I will be reviewing the Final Duel, the Imperial Shuttle Tiberium. I'm considering the Imperial Transport, not sure if I will, and then the Naboo Starfighter. I at least want to do those three. And then after that, or actually before that, will be the Ant-Man sets, because the Ant-Man set is actually in my Toys R Us right now, and both of my Toys R Us's, and they can't sell it to me. As a matter of fact, the Toys R Us, which is not here, it's not actually in my area, it's actually way far out, that I had to drive to get those two sets. They actually told me that like a legal rep came in and told them, and like a miscommunication has started between them, so they can't sell me the Ant-Man set now, even though they were able to sell me these two sets. And the point of that is I hate street dates and they're super annoying. So gonna try to work my way through that. I'm gonna try to find alternatives. I don't know. I want to get that Ant-Man set so I can not only review it for you guys, but start on my customs, because July 16th is gonna get here before we all know it. I mean, I'm going full swing customs here, full swing Brick Fair prep pretty soon, and so getting the set reviewed so I can get started on my figures would be a huge help, so I don't have to worry about that. But speaking of Ant-Man, obviously I still have the head start on Ant-Man. Have not made any progress on Ant-Man yet himself. I did paint the hair for Hank Pym, so that's a thing. Not sure if I'm actually going to use that one or try again. I did make the head, and I have the torso and everything ready for Hope Van Dyne, and that's what she's going to look like. Not totally sure on the hairstyle for her, but most likely the face will stay, or stick rather. And then also, man, Civil War. That's been a thing. Civil War, they're going full swing filming in Atlanta, Georgia, or at least they were. I'm pretty sure they're done now, Marvel. Everybody who was over there, but I mean, everybody was there on set. I mean, the number one thing, obviously, Captain America and Crossbones, they've been the center of attention. The Crossbones suit looks amazing. All of the makeup work on Frank Grillo with the scars all looks awesome. Captain America's suit is the same one from Age of Ultron, but that looks great. I'm so glad Black Widow has the long hair now, that the Russo brothers are back directing. That looks great. And I mean, the Joss Whedon hairstyle that he used in his Avengers films, you know, that was okay, but I personally thought that, you know, the longer hair that we saw in the Winter Soldier or something at least along those lines would look better for Civil War, and thankfully they did that, so that's cool for Scarlett Johansson. And then we saw Paul Rudd on set. The Falcon suit that we saw at the end of Age of Ultron, that's actually a thing. Like, they have the physical suit there, because if you didn't know, the one that we saw at the end of Age of Ultron, that's kind of a spoiler, but if you haven't seen Age of Ultron by now, honestly, it's on you. Yeah, so that at the end of Age of Ultron, that was a full-on CGI suit, but the one that they have in Atlanta is actually the physical suit, so that was pretty cool. And then we also, Paul Rudd was on set, Robert Downey Jr. showed up, and basically almost everybody, or at least, well, I mean, kind of half of the cast. I mean, it's not like we saw Spider-Man, Black Panther, Vision, or like a bunch of people. So, I mean, a good majority of the cast was seen in Atlanta. And then also, who else was I going to mention? Totally forgot, but yeah. So there's that, and then also other custom minifigures that I am going to be making, or at least trying to make before Brick Fair, kind of include, well, I mean, just to give you guys like a general update on what I'm doing for custom minifigures, War Machine is going to be the center of attention in terms of side figures while I work toward making the Ant-Man figures. So while I'm working on these Ant-Man figures, have ready for July 16th, which by the way is when the showcase will air, I will be working on War Machine along with Ahsoka, because I forget the premiere dates. Hopefully maybe you guys can let me know down in the comments, but the premiere date for the season 2 premiere of Star Wars Rebels, I forget what that is. So yeah, but Ahsoka is still a thing. She's still, I mean, the figure's on the back burner right now, and I have not made any progress on her in a while now, but I hope to make her and possibly Captain Rex for the Rebels Season 2 online premiere thing that they did for Season 1, that they're doing again for Season 2. So that's the goal for Ahsoka. So right now, like I said, Ant-Man's #1 goal, and then War Machine and Ahsoka are, I'm hoping to be my number one and 2 priorities while working on Daredevil. And by the way, the Force Awakens Stormtrooper, he's also pretty, I wouldn't say pretty much done, still have to do a lot on the legs and the back of the torso, but once that's done, he's done and he can get his showcase. So pretty much right now, I'm just wrapping up Daredevil and the Stormtrooper. Once they get their showcases, once I review these sets and I review the Ant-Man set, then I go full swing on the Ant-Man figures and, you know, Ahsoka and all that stuff. So, yeah, one other thing I did do was the Fantastic Four. Hopefully I'm giving you a good angle of that. You can kind of see them, their blank slates right there. Like I said, I'm not, like I said in previous vlogs anyway, I'm not totally sure if I will be making full-on Fantastic Four customs. I haven't fully decided. Ant-Man, 100% I'm doing, but Fantastic Four, not totally sure yet. But I do have the bodies there. If I, you know, they're there and ready to go for if, you know, should I decide to actually go through with that. But we'll see. It's just the #1 thing. I would absolutely do it. It's just from what I have seen, reference pictures look almost more scarce than CW costumes. And making CW costumes like the Reverse Flash Arsenal, that was hell, getting reference pictures for those. So making the Fantastic Four, I'm not totally sure. We'll see. Yeah, Adam. That's still a thing too. The Atom, like Ahsoka, I have not made a lot of progress on him at all, if any, recently, and that is only because the Avengers: Age of Ultron, that massive showcase. Which, once again, by the way, guys, huge thanks to all of you and your support for that video that you've shown for it. That's been amazing. So I really appreciate that. But that was just like the blockbuster showcase, just mowing over the rest of my minifigures that I was working on off to the side. So the Atom and Ahsoka, they got caught up in that. And then, you know, something that you guys are probably still going to be kind of surprised by is, yeah, the Achievement Hunter team, they're still a thing. They're still around. They are still sitting there waiting for their turn. I still just have to wrap up Gavin, and then they're done, and I can showcase them too. So basically, there's a lot going on, a lot of figures, just not time management is really what factors into all of this. Me trying to figure out what to work on day by day. But I'll tell you right now, having to hunt down these sets, like the Ant-Man set, I spent a good few hours just working on trying to get the Ant-Man set, calling stores, trying to find alternative sources. It takes up a lot of time, not only calling around, but then actually having to drive out to these stores, and that takes away a lot of time too from working on minifigures. So that kind of sucks, because it's like it doesn't go hand in hand when it comes to making these minifigures. And then also there was a lot going on the Suicide Squad set. We saw Harley Quinn, you know, Margot Robbie, and Jared Leto as the Joker for the first time on set, and that was cool. And he does have all the same tattoos, so that wasn't a joke. He's actually going to have those tattoos. And aside from the one on the forehead, I think aside from the tattoo on the forehead, I personally think he looks like a great Joker. And that's just my opinion. I know a lot of you guys disagree. I know a lot of you guys hate it, but I'm not one of those people. I'm open to it. I think it'll work. Jared Leto's an amazing actor, so I was really thrilled by what I was seeing from the set footage. He looks like he's really embodying the role, and it looks awesome. So that looks great for Suicide Squad. And then Aside from that, we did have a new trailer for Legends of Tomorrow, which came a few days before the Flash finale, and holy crap. The Legends of Tomorrow trailer, it looks amazing. You have the, okay, this is kind of a spoiler if you haven't watched Arrow season 3, but you have the Atom. He's going to be taking lead on the show. You're going to have White Canary, which is Sarah. I guess they went and grabbed her remains out of Starling and threw her in the Lazarus Pit, and I guess Malcolm, given that he's now Ra's al Ghul, or at least the new Ra's al Ghul, however you'd like to pronounce it, I guess he allowed that to happen. I mean, given that he was the one who's pretty much responsible for her death, so that's awesome. I can't wait to see Laurel's reaction once the two of them inevitably reunite. And then you have Hawkgirl. We saw her, a brief glimpse of her at the end of the Flash finale. That was cool. And we haven't seen her suit yet, so I'm really curious to see what the Hawkgirl suit will look like. But the CGI does look amazing for her. We did see Firestorm; he's going to be in it, and the Flash. I doubt Firestorm and the Flash will remain series regulars on that for all 13 episodes. I think they're only going to show up for like the first 2 or something. But we did see them in there, and that was really cool. And then Rip Hunter, he looks awesome, cast by the guy who is from Doctor Who. I forget his name, Arthur something, and so that the entire series looks great. And you have these, you have half of Firestorm, you have Martin Stein, and that's really cool. It's just I'm kind of curious why they haven't cast Ronnie Raymond in there yet. Robbie Amell. So we'll see how that plays out. But the number one thing that really blew me away from the trailer, or not away, just blew me away in general, is that they revealed that Vandal Savage is going to be the main villain, and that was the number one thing that everyone assumed when they said a big DC villain that has remained to be untouched in live action. Everyone was pointing toward Vandal Savage, and that ended up being the pick, and that's exciting because now there's going to be a lot of time travel. The dude is immortal. I mean, Vandal Savage is an awesome DC villain for the CW years to go up against, but it's just so cool thinking back to from Arrow season 1, Arrow season 2, 3, and now the Flash season 1. It's just cool thinking that Vandal Savage has just been there developing his army, and now this entire series is going to happen. It looks great. The trailer looks awesome. Can't wait for it. We did also have the trailer for Supergirl, by the way, and it looks okay. It's just, it's very similar to the Flash premiere, the Flash pilot trailer that we had at first last year, in saying that it looks, it's all taken straight from the pilot, so you really can't judge it. It's just the first episode. So we'll see how the series develops over 20, 23 episodes, however long the series first season will be, because you can't judge it based on the first episode. And I'm pretty sure that's what all that footage is from, just the first episode. And am I sold on God, what's her face? I forget the actress name. Something Benoist. Why is it that I know all of this shit, and then the second I do a vlog, it's just it all flies out the window? Anyway, I'm not totally sold on her being Supergirl yet. We'll see, but it does look pretty good from what we have seen, and given that it is legally possible for them to cross over with The Flash and, Arrow, that all looks, that's cool to think that, Supergirl could be on those 2 shows, or on The Flash more likely, or maybe even Legends of Tomorrow. That would be sweet. I doubt it, though. They said there's no plans to do a crossover in the first season. But that is a thing. Got the trailer for that, and then also I did get that White Boba Fett, by the way, from the new updated and enhanced, whatever the heck the LEGO Group is calling their new Star Wars encyclopedia. Did get that. Not going to review that. The White Boba Fett figure is cool, but not worth an entire video personally. And then we also I've been going through this thing, I've been having a bit of a Funko obsession. And I've been buying Funko figures left and right. Every time I go out, I don't go home without getting a Funko figure. It's becoming dangerous. And I mean, I'm not going to customize them or anything, but you're probably going to start seeing them popping up more and more in the background of my videos. Now I've got the CW Flash, I got the Reverse Flash, I got Coulson the other day, Yondu over here, Vision, Iron Man, or the Mark 43, Cap, Groot, Baby Groot, and Ultron, most of which have fallen down over there. And yeah, so Funko figures have become a little bit of a side obsession because obviously, or at least right now anyway, cannot afford Hot Toys figures, so I guess this is the alternative. And they're kind of hilarious, but addicting, and that can be problematic for a Ross. So But yeah, so to top off this vlog, I'm going to look around at my desk to make sure I'm not forgetting any figures I wanted to talk about. I reviewed this, by the way. That's a thing. I wasn't going to review it initially, but I needed more time to work on things and to get these sets, so I ended up reviewing that Electro figure anyway. But yeah, the Flash finale and the Arrow finales both happened. The Arrow finale was not as good as the season 2 finale, if you ask me. And the fact that, spoilers, by the way, spoilers for both the Arrow and Flash finale. If you have not seen them both, I recommend you cut off this vlog right here. I'm not going to be showing anything else. I'm just going to be giving my general thoughts on the Arrow and Flash finale. So if you have not seen either, I definitely recommend you go back to your sub box, man. So thank you. But yeah, so the Arrow finale, you know, the fact that Oliver killed Ra's al Ghul, I was like, get the hell out of here. I mean, I don't even know why I have to explain why that is so wrong. The fact that Oliver Queen, who doesn't have the hundreds of years of experience or this, you know, the couple centuries worth of swordsmanship that Ra's al Ghul has behind him, how Oliver was able to kill him. And the entire Arrow finale, it was good. It was okay. It was underwhelming, though, and not as good as what I wanted it to be. And, you know, the Atom shrunk for the first time. We didn't even get to see it, and that sucked. But, I mean, we did see him shrink in the Legends of Tomorrow trailer, by the way, which is super awesome. So all the people saying he's an Iron Man knockoff can finally shut up. And so, but, you know, I could say a lot about the Arrow finale. It was cool seeing Barry. I love how he just showed up and he was like, deal with it on your own, then left. He was not even there for a minute. It was kind of funny. I just finished rewatching it earlier. So that's a thing. And then also the Flash finale. I mean, like I said, I could talk a lot about the Arrow finale, but I really don't want to. I think the Flash finale is what all of us want to talk about, so I apologize to Stephen and Mel and friends over there at Arrow, but the Flash finale was definitely the better of the two. And the Flash finale, holy crap. I mean, it was like a 35 minute build up before anything actually started happening, of them just like going back and forth about if they should, you know, travel through time or not, and then Cisco finding out that he's going to be Vibe eventually. You know, that was cool. But definitely the entire sequence of Barry going through the Speed Force, seeing Killer Frost, seeing him in prison and potentially an alternate reality, seeing the Flash Museum, seeing the Legends of Tomorrow clip in there, that was all awesome. The Speed Force effect, I was hoping would look a little less like a green screen. I was hoping for a little bit more from that effect, but it still does look pretty cool regardless, or did anyway. But then when he actually does, damn, my freaking chair is so creaky. When he does actually, you know, get back to see his mom, that was really cool. When you saw Barry 2024 tell him, stop, don't do it. He must have, that, you know, Barry from 2024 must have gone through the Flashpoint paradox already if he was telling our Barry to not save his mother. And so that was really, really gut-wrenching when he says goodbye to his mother. Imagine that, being like, it's like, put yourself in Barry's position. It's like going, that's insane. Like, it just thinking what his mother must have been thinking when her son shows up as an adult right when she's about to die, and it's like, that was such a mind-blowing and emotionally fantastic sequence, and Grant Gustin was fantastic in the entire episode. I mean, he is Barry Allen. I think that's awesome. I'm really going to struggle getting used to Ezra Miller when that day comes, but man, that finale opened up so much. Jay Garrick's helmet flying through the wormhole, Eobard Thawne being erased from this timeline, but obviously there are other realities where Eobard Thawne can come back, because I'm sorry, but you don't just kill off Eobard Thawne and get away with it, because it's like, if you want to kill off Eobard Thawne, you kill him at the end. You don't kill him in your freaking season 1 finale. So I'm sure, and they already said the actors who, or Tom Cavanaugh and the other guy are both going to be coming back for season 2, so that's exciting. So Eobard Thawne is definitely going to come back, and that's great because you don't kill Eobard Thawne. So that was still really awesome, though. And then the fact that Eddie died, and the fact that he's not going to be a series regular, as confirmed by everybody over at the writing division over there for The Flash, that sucks, because Rick Cosnett, he was great as Eddie Thawne, and it's going to play. He's kind of like the Tommy of The Flash, from Arrow. Tommy died first season, Eddie died first season here, so that sucks. The fact that he died, maybe he'll come back as Cobalt Blue or some other twisted alternate reality version, because obviously the big black hole opened in the sky, and Barry, of course, is going to stop it. But I mean, the fact that that's going to be like the new particle accelerator, like season 2, all the problems are going to source from that, I think, and or at least the majority of us have been thinking. Because, that was really amazing, especially visually. Holy shit, that must have been the best freaking visual effects sequence this entire show has had so far. That was amazing. You know, and seeing that open up, that was really great. And you know, so obviously, you know, different characters from other realities. Jay Garrick, we're going to get Wally West next season. We're Killer Frost. We saw her. We saw Caitlin as Killer Frost. Maybe that's not the Caitlin we know. Maybe that's Caitlin from another reality. We'll find out. But basically, at the end of the Flash Season 1 finale, it was great. I wish not as much time was spent building up to everything that happened in the last 10-15 minutes, but it was still fantastic what we did get. Not exactly a big reverse Flash fight scene, but you didn't really need one. We've had a lot of reverse Flash, so I mean, still really awesome though. Love the finale, and so I cannot wait to see where they go with Season 2, especially after that cliffhanger they left us on. But man, this show has been the best comic book TV show ever. I mean, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Arrow, Gotham, The Flash trumps all of it, I have to say. So all of that, man, I can't wait for the day when these vlogs start shortening back down to like 10 minutes as they usually were. But it's just like, I thank you for sticking around if you did. I know this vlog, I haven't exactly been as enthusiastic as I usually am, but as you guys know, as I mentioned at the start of the vlog, Wally's gone, and that sucks. So, other than that though, guys, that is pretty much it for this vlog, and I don't know when my next one will be, but hopefully, and I'm assuming Daredevil will be done by the time I do my another vlog, and maybe even the Force Awakens Stormtrooper. Maybe I will even have reviewed the Ant-Man Final Battle review, or I will have reviewed the Ant-Man Final Battle review by the time I do another vlog. So catch you guys later. Okay, bye!